Shut your pie hole! We're working here!
Welcome back to another episode of Video Waste Talks with your host, Jerry and Jacob.
Alright, so in this episode we're going to be talking about movies. This is our bread and butter. If you've been with us for a while, then you know we used to do movie reviews quite frequently, and they're still up on YouTube, so make sure you check them out. In this one, we're just going to go over 4 movies, and
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Well, let's start with the first one. What did we watch this week, Jacob?
well, we each chose 2 movies to watch. Jerry chose Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, and Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Yeah.
I chose Airheads and Mallrats. I was trying to bring some levity to all this darkness that we keep going through. So let's just start with Nightmare 3.
Yeah.
We're keeping the same format that we did in our videos. So again, check those out if you're unfamiliar. We have like a list of book report style questions that we like to use to move us through a little bit faster.
Yeah.
So,
A
Nightmare 3.
questionarium.
A questionarium.
Questionarium, you
Or a
could say.
questionnaire. I think
Yeah.
questionarium is mixing questions with aquariums.
That could work. It should.
Alright, so
Alright.
who is your showstopper? A show stealer?
Shows.
Start with that one, show stealer.
This movie really has three really good like show stealers. One, Nancy. Nancy's back. Hey everybody, Nancy's back. Awesome. I really enjoyed the story where we're going from meeting Nancy. Now we're in the middle of her like nightmare crusade, I guess you could think of it. Yeah, I really enjoyed her what she brought to the movie. Another character that I really felt stole the show was Kincaid. I don't know the actor's name off the top of my head,
I didn't bother to learn his name.
but I do like the fact that he seems to be the only character in Nightmare where he's just like, I want to beat this guy's ass.
Mhm.
Like everybody, when they get their dream powers,
Yeah.
he's like, I'm a wizard, and I want a mohawk and switchblades, and Patricia Arquette wanted to do jumping or flips and stuff,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Kincaid's like,
Where's Freddy? I'm gonna beat your ass.
I want the ability to kick ass, like, it's just like, wouldn't everybody kind of want that and stuff, and the
Unless
doctor,
you're jerking
no.
your dick off, super strength is probably the way to go in most cases.
This is your dream. You can have people do that for you in your
Right?
dreams,
Yeah.
which is like hilarious.
Which
because-
is what Patricia Arquette was there for.
yeah, exactly. Which the Joey character at one point just wants to mac with the nurse and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, Joey, it's your dream, man. Fucking, it's just like, guess who's taking off their clothes? Everybody.
Yeah.
And stuff,
Yeah.
you know?
Exactly. You would think that
It's
that
fine.
would be.
Yeah, it's my dream, But the character that I find at the top of the list is the doctor, the male doctor, who I cannot think of his name right now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I thought, okay, this is the
The
guy.
like the head psychologist or whatever.
Yeah, this is the guy that's gonna go forth.
Mhm.
He's gonna if spoilers, if we're gonna kill off Nancy, he's the one that now has to deal with Freddy. That's how it should have really been. Like he is the one that has to find out this mystery on Amanda Kruger, But other than that, those are like really good show stealers for me, where I'm happy they get the time in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before I jump into my show stealer, because I only have the one,
Mm-hmm.
why are all the parents so fucking horrible in these movies? Have you like, has anybody ever realized that every single parent in these movies, they're never loving care? Well, sometimes, but most of the time they're just like Patricia Arquette's mom is like bringing home random dudes like, you need to stop having panic attacks because I'm trying to blow this guy.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's always something with these parents.
Yelling underlay and stuff.
Yeah.
You know. It's in the script.
Yeah, but I mean, there's got to be a reason that these parents are written like that.
I don't know. Maybe that
Unless they're just written as like idiots in general.
that, or maybe that's the story they should have been talking about. Not Freddy after their kids, but
Why their parents aren't after their kids?
well, the parents are these like horrible creatures that they murdered. Yeah, child murderer. Yeah, but they got the taste for horror.
Nightmare 8. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. So my show stealer is Kincaid as well.
Yeah.
I actually through this series started to realize how little Heather Langenkamp can actually act.
Yeah, she is very limited.
She does not have a range. She does not. It's pretty interesting. But Kincaid is definitely my guy because he's the only one that actually called out Freddy.
Yeah,
like he's the only one that went looking for Freddy. Like, hey, come try me. So.
And then for his troubles, they killed him off in the first 4 seconds of number 4.
Yep.
And it's just like lame.
Well, they killed pretty much anybody that was left off in that one.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, if you're not gonna go with plan A with the doctor, the dream therapist and stuff, have Kincaid, be like, I'm the only one who knows how to take out Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Let him be the one that goes forth, and like the Tommy Jargonson of,
Tommy Jarvis.
Tommy Jarvis. Was it Jargonson or Jarvis? Jarvis? Okay, that sounds better. Let him be that character. I'm after Freddy.
Yeah.
He put me in the psychiatric ward for 4 years. Now I'm going to put him in one, or, something like that.
Yeah, I get it. That's a good way to go. If you're going to continue that, then yes.
Heather Langenkamp's acting, also I put that more on directing. Like, in the first one, it's fine what she does.
Yeah, but by the third one, she had grown and evolved, and it was something that clearly she was going to continue to do. So why not try to be better and not suck so much? Like, it progressively gets worse. And, we're going to talk about Wes Craven's New Nightmare. And when we get to that, I'll have some more things to say. But it to me, it seems like it gets progressively worse.
Right.
Like the first one, so I think that the first one has the element of surprise.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know any of these people. Even Johnny Depp was fresh at this point.
Okay.
So you don't know to expect better from anybody. And she was playing an innocent little girl that all this was happening to.
Yeah.
As where in this one, she knows the drill. She should be a little bit more fiery. She should be a little bit more passionate about, hey, this is what's going on. We need to do this.
Yeah.
But, okay.
But, when you talk about acting, say, from the first one to the 7th one, in the first one, she's playing Nancy. In the 7th one, she's playing Heather Langenkamp.
Yeah, she didn't even do that well. But we'll get there.
Well, all right, we'll get there. All right, breaker. What was your breaker?
Heather Langenkamp.
Oh my God! Fuck you.
So it's just bad acting. The whole story is based around her, and as much as I like her and I like her character, her ability to like act and emote just maybe it's not even so much her, it's her character.
Yeah.
Maybe that's more what it is now that I think about it. Because, like, the way she goes to her dad and she's like, Dad, I need this. I gotta get this. And then he's like, no, bitch, I'm drinking this bourbon. And she's like, fine. And she leaves. You know what I mean? Like, she knows what she's up against. She's seen what she's up against. And she does nothing to try to... You would think that she would have more force.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That, to me, it got weaker. Like, and she really took me out. She seemed more whiny in this one. And less proactive, more reactive.
It almost feels like somebody who doesn't want to do this.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in this movie, so I'm going to just kind of phone it in.
Yeah, that's a lot of what it seemed like to me, and I didn't appreciate it.
It's kind of like, and I think one thing, like, was Wes Craven always said, no, Nightmare on Elm Street is one movie. It's just New Line Cinema wanted to do this franchise and keep continuing. And I think that Heather Langenkamp was one of those where it's just like, why are y'all still making these and stuff? It was one movie, it's kind of like...
I mean, I understand the opportunity at a payday.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody's going to throw a bunch of money at you to be in another one, then yeah, you're probably going to say yes. Or, you should at least say yes and bank that money. Yeah. But try. Don't show up on set and be like, oh, well, Dad, Freddy's being mean again. So, put some fucking effort into it, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
In acting wise and stuff, there are a lot of lines that Patricia Arquette says in there where I'm just like, that seems out of left field. That doesn't seem like that should be there.
Yeah. All right. Well, is she your...
No.
Okay. Who's your showbreaker then?
My whole showbreaker is the plot with Amanda Kruger.
Yeah.
Why the fuck do we need anything to do with Amanda Kruger?
And it doesn't end there.
No.
She comes back like 2 more times.
Yeah. And it's just like, I don't care. That is not why Freddy Krueger's doing this. If you're trying to stretch out a story,
they were giving you that. I think that the effort was okay by like the fact that she was like a nurse and she got held or like whatever, and she got held up and like banged out, like they ran a train on her, So maybe that's the reason Freddy is the way that he is. But that doesn't. You can mention that, like they mention it so many times, like son of 1,000 maniacs, like. Okay, there you go. There's your reason. Yeah. Let's move along. You didn't need to add her. She was like...
she did nothing for the story.
Well, like, she kind of, like, leads them along, almost.
John
to find
Saxton,
the bones. Well, yeah,
John Saxton
he definitely did that.
I know where the bones are. It's like no one... Like, it just seems dumb where... It's kind of like when you're watching a documentary about a serial killer, and they go... This is why he did it. This is why he did it. This is why he did it. Fuck why he did this. This is all you need to focus on is that this person
there's a lot of
that.
people out there would disagree with you.
No.
And let us know if you're one of those people. A lot of people like the idea of why.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole psychology behind it. Why did this person do this? Why is this person like this?
Yeah.
What triggered this?
Yeah.
So... But yeah, no, I definitely agree, and I didn't even think of that as a show-breaking aspect of the movie. I was just so focused on Nancy and
when I was watching the movie, every time that Amanda Kruger scenes would come on, I would just go, ugh, and kind of just float off into space.
Well, luckily in this one, they're pretty short.
Yeah.
They're just like,
Yeah, it doesn't get bad until the 5th one where it's a whole plot around it.
Yeah.
It's just like, no one gives a
and
shit.
It's the final time we really see her too.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else about your showbreaker?
No. Don't fast forward that shit.
Okay.
Fuck that. They were like, "You got anything else?" No, but I'll sit here and talk for an hour about how like this is pointless to the Freddy Krueger story. You know, about a man who attacks you in your dreams. You know, on Elm Street. You know, they could have done anything there. You know, I went to the library and I got on this new thing called the internet, and we were, you know, like, can't we do it any other way than like the ghost of Freddy Krueger's mom? You know, like my favorite part is where he sees Amanda Krueger up in the bell tower of like the church or whatever there, and he has to break into the building.
Yeah.
It's like, how the hell did she get in there? Dude, the ghost isn't like popping into your brain now, you know?
Yeah, no, that is definitely something that you would think somebody would run across their mind.
Move on, not with that shit.
All right. So next we're going to move into notable effects. Any notable effects for you?
They're really good ones. They're like practical.
Yeah.
Really good practical effects.
I agree.
The Freddy worm is really good. Even the thing with the mirrors, where all the different Freddys, you know, are in the mirrors. That looks really good. The track mark suckling on the girl's arm. That's really good. Yeah, there's some the like cheesy ones, like the Wizard Master's laser blast and stuff. That looks kind of cheesy.
It's very Chopping Mall.
Yeah. Don't you fuck with Chopping Mall. Chopping
I
Mall's
love Chopping Mall.
fucking Citizen Kane.
But let's be honest, those lasers.
Exactly. If you watch a movie called fucking Chopping Mall, do not expect fucking genius. Like, there's those moments. There's a couple of really good, like Freddy's prosthetics on his face.
Yeah,
look a little bit better. He doesn't look as muddy like in the first two movies. If you look real closely, Freddy looks kind of muddy, like burnt, and you need like the charred skin and stuff. But now we're starting to get into just kind of like a Freddy Krueger face, like who he is underneath the makeup.
Yeah, I agree. His face was a big thing. Like you can definitely see a good difference. I second your other opinion. Every effect in this movie was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, of course, now you watch it and you go, oh, how silly. But at the time, like these were like really good effects, and the puppet work. And one of the big things for me is like the scenery. There was so much effort put into the backgrounds of these these movies, that it itself was its own character. Yeah. In reality, that should have been the show stealer for me, was just the settings. Yeah. Like all the cars in the junkyards and like
that was pretty good.
All the the whole entire world. Like it's probably not that hard to find some like ship that has like hanging catwalks and steam pipes and stuff, but at the same time, like they didn't just CGI the shit. So obviously not at that time, but
no, there's a couple CGIs that are good, like when Freddy Krueger is doing the marionette puppet up on the bell tower with I forgot that character's name.
That's the kid, the same kid, Josh or Jason or something.
I don't know. That looked pretty good. The stop-go animation with the bones.
Yeah,
those looked really, really good. That was like, that was a good effect. Yeah. So, practical works.
Do practical effects. I am more willing to forgive cheesy looking shit. All right, look. Thanksgiving, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your Fridays, your Freddys, like people who actually put a lot of effort into their practical effects, Alien, things like that. These are the practical effects I'm talking about. Do practical effects. Now, I'm willing to forgive a lot more with practical effects than shitty CGI.
CGI should be there to like
enhance.
Yeah,
complement.
Yeah,
complement
exactly.
it.
But you said Friday, and my brain went. I knew Chris Tucker was a CGI'd like robot, or was just a sock puppet.
Yeah,
that they had
definitely.
like used someone like Jim Henson down behind Ice Cube, just like
Ice Cube shoved his hand up his ass and worked him like a puppet.
yeah, exactly. And he didn't come back for the second one, and no one watched it.
All right. Well, let's move into Cinema Wow.
Cinema Wow.
Is there anything how this is shot that makes you go ooh?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Exactly.
It's a not a flat movie, but it's filmed not where it needs like, oh, that's magnificent and stuff. You know, this isn't an art movie.
I think it's important to point out the fact that at this time, that was not a thing.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't have Ari Aster's and people like that doing these magnificent, beautiful shots.
Mm-hmm.
I guess technically there's Razorback that had a lot of beautiful shots in it. But overall, these were like deadpan shots.
Mm-hmm.
The focus of what was going on in the scene was what was going on in the scene. It wasn't necessarily check out this cool angle that I'm going to shoot from, or how I trick with the camera. Like, not that, it was just straightforward, blunt.
Yeah, and they never brought anything like new. Like, there was that one scene where Patricia's walking up to the house, and the house gets big and stuff, and it's like, well, they did that in Texas Chainsaw. That was, in Chainsaw, it was innovative, but in this, it's kind of like, you know. So, no, it's good, it's flat, I get all my information where I need it, you know?
What about quotable lines?
Welcome to prime time, bitch.
Every Freddy line is a quotable line. Outside of that, not so much.
No, I think of anyone, Welcome to Prime. I mean,
of
course.
Man,
there's cartoon. Rick and Morty makes fun of it and stuff where
they have their own Freddy episode,
but he ends everything with bitch. You know, and it was just one little silly line and stuff. You know, so
and it took off.
So.
All right, so what's the one moment for you? What's the one moment that stuck out and made you go, ooh?
There's that moment where Heather Langenkamp and that doctor have that really long dialogue scene.
Yeah, cool. I'll go first then.
I'm probably gonna do the twist where we think Patricia Arquette just dreamed it, where they could have got away with that. Like, she's in the quiet room and she's, you know, calling Nancy to come help her. And then all of a sudden she wakes up and it's at the beginning of the movie where the music's playing and her mother comes in and she's like, oh, I'm so scared and stuff. And like, you could hear her like, where's the bourbon at? Like in the beginning. And she's like, oh, I gotta go. And then Freddy comes in and cuts her mother's head off and says, where's the fucking bourbon? And like, he's holding her head and stuff. And she's like, why are you doing this all the time, Krista? Like, it just geeks me out every time. So I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah, that was mine too.
Moving on. No, what did you got down on your papers?
That's literally what mine was.
Oh, really?
Like, when Christy wakes up back in her bedroom where the beginning of the movie starts, and Freddy cuts her mom's head off, and the head just starts berating Christy. That's literally the, like, word for... So, moving on. Sound, score. Where are we at?
Dokken, you know. Dokken was in there playing Dokken's song. Dokken.
I thought that the sound and score fit this movie perfectly.
Dream warriors.
Not so much that. I mean, just like...
Don't wanna dream no more.
The sound, as far as like the sound effects, the subtle tones and everything, like it was all, it fits the movie perfectly. It enhances the movie.
Yeah.
And everybody knows, you know, that sound when it starts. So I think that this is a very good, maybe not so much soundtrack, but the sound of the movie is good.
Yeah. I noticed that the one thing that really like clued me off, why I don't really have a big opinion on it.
Okay.
So Freddy's fighting the one girl who wants to be beautiful and bad.
Mhm.
But right before, his knives, his finger blades turn into syringes and stuff, there's a difference in audio where Freddy's just doing this kind of like voice, and then it cuts and they have that low, deep baritone voice and stuff. And it's like, someone wasn't paying attention on the sound cue, so...
I have to go back and check that out.
Yeah.
I will say I had a lot of fun with this whole entire thing because I have all these movies on VHS.
Yeah.
So I was just like walking over, pulling the movie off, putting it in, watching it, putting it back, and it made it a lot more fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like if I would have just like gotten on Tubi and watched it, I would have been a lot more bummed.
Yeah.
I'm glad I pulled like the physical copy out.
Yeah, anytime, where there's a ritual.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta rewind the fucking tape. Okay, rewind it, and I can do, and it's like, all right, showtime.
Yep, I agree. So, for you, was this movie meat or potatoes or a combination?
It was meat. It was meat. I mean, there's a little bit of potato, but it's mostly meat.
Okay.
It was fulfilling. Yeah. It's a Freddy movie,
Yeah.
I don't think there's very many, like, Freddy movies where it was just like, it's all fucking potatoes, it's fucking hacks, don't know what they're doing. It's still...
For me, it was mostly potatoes,
Really?
but the meat was very tasty. Well, because of the fucking mom storyline. like, it was like an hour and a half of bullshit to get to a half an hour of these people fighting Freddy and defeating Freddy.
Yeah.
It was just like story. Here's this like, oh, the kid can't walk, so he's going to dream to be able to walk. And then like, oh, she wants to be a movie star, so she's going to dream to be a movie star. Oh, she wants to be a badass. Like, okay, cool. They really honed in the we're going to give you all the information on this character in the first 15 minutes of this movie way after this. Because they took all movie to do this.
No, yeah, I mean...
And then the big reveal that was Amanda Kruger.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Yeah, so for me it was a lot of potatoes. I love this movie. This is outside of the original my favorite in the series.
Okay.
But I can still honestly admit potatoes, but the meat is very tasty.
Okay.
Did you get your money's worth though?
Yeah, sure. I mean, sure. I got my money's worth. Yeah, I mean, once more, it's a Freddy movie. It's one of those 80s, movies. Yeah, there's a franchise to it, which kind of like takes away from the first one, but yeah, it's always fun to go back to a Freddy Krueger movie, no matter what. So yeah, I got my money's worth.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's wrap this up.
Yeah, starring it.
Well,
No.
real quick, before we star this, do you think this franchise would be in what it was if somebody else played Freddy? Had Robert Englund not been Freddy, do you think that this franchise would have been what it was? What do you think?
I don't think... I think it would got popular. That's a hard one to say, because you're like asking, like, like, you're trying to get me to picture Freddy Krueger as like a different character, which originally they were. They had someone older, the idea of playing Freddy, and I just don't see anybody but Robert Englund.
Right.
When we tried it and put someone new in there, fucking horrible.
Okay, well, they tried a lot of dumb things with that one, and that's why I failed. Just like the 2019 Chucky. There was a reason it failed. All right, so let's wrap this up.
Yeah. I'm going to give it 5 stars.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah, when you watch all the Freddys, they're very nostalgic, and they hold a place. Even though I'm a bigger Jason fan than a Freddy fan, which, okay, let's start the fight and stuff. Freddy versus
Who do you got in a fight, Freddy or Jason?
Jason. Always.
So, Freddy versus Jason was just like porn for you.
No, Freddy
You're just
versus
like, oh, this is
Jason was
amazing.
just like, 2 hours of like obnoxious noises and sounds on the screen, and then all of a sudden my brain went, okay, that's it. That's movie. That's movie.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my god, I hate that movie so fucking much. Like it
That's
makes
so weird.
no sense. You trying to tell me that fucking Jason walked
You want to
from...
tell me that any of these movies make sense?
No, but
Okay.
I do.
just wanted to clear that up real quick. All right. So, stars.
5, yes, I got 5.
5 stars. All right. That's interesting. I was going to give it 3.5.
Oh.
And this is... Oh. You're the...
Oh. Wow.
This again is outside the original, which I do think is a 5-star movie. This is my favorite one.
Yeah.
And it's a 3.5-star movie. It's very...
It's in the middle. It's right
yeah,
there.
it's
perfect
like
blend.
just above. It's just above all the other ones to me.
Yeah.
But let us know what your opinions are. Let us know what you liked and didn't liked about it. Let us know what you didn't liked about it.
Yeah.
And we'll be moving on to
New Nightmare.
Wes Craven's New Nightmare.